The Pokemon GO Global Wild Area event is taking place this weekend on the 15th and 16th. Here at Go With Us, we've put together 8 crucial things that you need to remember going into this event. I could make this intro a lot longer, but we're not going to. This is the Global Wild Area with Go With Us. First and foremost, time and dates out of the way. As we said, it is going to be on the 15th and 16th, but it will be running from 10 a.m. all the way until 6 p.m. each day, so the Saturday and Sunday. But let's kick off with number 1, which is going to be ticket versus no ticket, and is the ticket even worth buying? What we're going to do first is list everything that everyone is going to get for free. So this is if you do not have a ticket. First and foremost, we get our Pokemon GO debut of Impidimp Morgrem as well as Grimmsnarl coming into the game. We will get 3 new shiny debuts, which is going to be Shiny Unknown W, as well as Shiny Hatenna and Shiny Impidimp. These certain Pokemon are going to be drawn to Incense: Alolan Ninetales, Galarian Rapidash, Tyranitar, Mawile, Absol, Garchomp, Drapion, Weavile, Hatterene, and Meowscarada. Everyone will get featured 5km eggs. We're going to get Mime Jr., Sandile, Pawniard, Carbink, Tinkytink, and Impidimp. If trainers follow routes during this event, more Pokemon will appear more frequently, as well as being able to earn extra buddy candy. There will be 2 rotating habitats happening throughout the event, which is incredible. The first one is going to be surrounding dark type Pokemon, which is going to be the Lurking Dark Hour. We have Alolan Meowth there, Alolan Grimer, Ghastly, Hoothoot, Murkrow, Sneasel, Houndour, Poochyena, Galarian Zigzagoon, Seedot, Nincada, Cacnea, Kricketot, Stunky, Skorupi, Scraggy, Zorua, Fungus, Dino, Inkay, Phantump, Impidimp with that new shiny, as well as Dreepy. And then in the Fanciful Fairy Hour, we have Clefairy, Alolan Vulpix, Jigglypuff, Galarian Ponyta, Chansey, Togetic, Marill, Snubble, Ralts, Skitty, Swablu, Phoebus, Cherubi, Audino, Cottony, Esper, Dedenne, Klefki, Poplio, Cutiefly, Hatenna, Impidimp, as well as Smoliv. We also have featured Shadow Raids going down. On the Saturday, we're going to be able to encounter Shadow Cresselia from 5-star Shadow Raids, and then on the Sunday, Shadow Darkrai will be in there. And then the bonuses that will be available to everyone is that it's going to be up to 3 free raid passes per day. We get event-themed field research to encounter certain Pokemon. It's going to be 3 snapshots encountered per day, as well as the max particle collection limit being increased to 1600. Last but not least, again, this is all for free. Mighty Pokemon are back. We will touch on that in a little bit. Spawning on the Saturday is going to be Mighty Wigglytuff, Galarian Rapidash, Tyranitar, Mawile, Absol, Golurk, Hatterene, Obstagoon, as well as Meowscarada. On Sunday, we're going to see Alolan Vulpix, Galarian Weezing, Granbull, Houndoom, Gardevoir, Honchkrow, Garchomp, Drapion, as well as Weavile. But to upgrade this experience for a total cost of $12, these are going to be the extra things added to what we already have for free. So let's kick off with those Incense spawns. There is going to be additional Incense spawns for ticket holders, which is going to be Unknown W, Unknown I, Unknown L, as well as Unknown D, which can all be shiny and of course will spell wild. We can also get the Roaming Lake Trio being drawn to Incense, and all of them will be Mighty Pokemon with that Mighty mark. The max particle collection limit will be increased to 3200. It's going to be 3/4 of the cost to unlock max moves during this time frame. We're going to get a special research where we're either going to have to pick the dark or fairy path to get encounters with certain fairy and dark type Pokemon. There's going to be an increased shiny chance for ticket holders. Lure modules will last for 2 hours. It's going to be 2 times catch candy, half egg hatch distance, and up to 6 special trades per day, which on the Sunday may even stack with trade Sundays outside of the event, or when the event ends, you could maybe do another 2 special trades to take it to 8 on that Sunday, which is absolutely incredible. Guys, if you're wanting to know if this ticket is worth it or not, please tick the following boxes. Are you going to be shiny hunting hard on both of these days? Are you going to be raiding Cresselia and Darkrai hard in the Shadow Raids, as well as Gmax Grimmsnarl? And last but not least, are you going to be taking advantage of your Incense encounters? Are you going to be using those lure modules? Are you going to be really taking advantage of those 5km eggs? Because also the frequency drop of 5km eggs for ticket holders will be even higher. If you are going to be really concentrating on these specific things, 100%, the ticket is definitely worth it. On to our second thing to remember, and we've just touched on it, is going to be all about Mighty Pokemon. What are Mighty Pokemon? They are effectively Pokemon that appear on the map that have this yellow glow underneath them, and once you encounter them, you will not know the exact CP of this Pokemon, which represents that this is going to be a Mighty Pokemon. They have a higher chance of being shiny. They're more likely to have high IVs, and remember, the base floor for Mighty Pokemon is going to be 13, 13, 13, which makes a hundo for this Pokemon a 1 in 20 27 chance, which is absolutely insane. They are more difficult to catch, so we're gonna have to use something called the Safari Balls, which I believe will be in a timed research as well as a potential special research as rewards if you have the ticket or not. The drop rate last year of these Safari Balls coming from Pokestops was incredibly low, so I would strongly recommend either even buying it from the web store if some of those boxes are available, because remember, Mighty Pokemon are going to be your big hit of this event. And last but not least, of course, they are more likely to be XL or XXL Pokemon. Let's run through again all the Mighty Pokemon on Saturday, but specifically which ones you should go after. We have Wigglytuff, Galarian Rapidash, Tyranitar, Mawile, Absol, Golurk, Hatterene, Obstagoon, as well as Meowscarada. For example, two Pokemon that aren't so important in this Mighty Pokemon list would be something like a Wigglytuff or something like an Obstagoon, just simply because as their hundos in the meta, they just aren't the most relevant. However, on that specific day, Tyranitar, Absol, Mawile, and even something like Hatterene can all be incredibly valuable for you. Mega Tyranitar is, I believe, the third best rock type attacker in the game. It's the best dark type attacker in the game. If you can get a Mega Mawile, that steel and fairy typing could reap in a lot of candy for those specific events if you do get to level 3. And even Absol as a Mega is currently, I believe, still in the top 5 best dark type attackers in the game with Brutal Swing. And you could even look at something like Hatterene, because Hatterene as a budget fairy type attacker is extremely good, and you could get candy for that potential G-Max Hatterene, which will be coming in the near future. On Sunday, these are going to be the Mighty Pokemon spawning. We have Alola Ninetales, Galarian Weezing, Granbull, Houndoom, Gardevoir, Honchkrow, Garchomp, Drapion, and Weavile. Definitely the ones you want to go after is going to be that Gardevoir. Going into Mega Gardevoir, currently the best fairy type attacker in the game. Garchomp is an excellent Mega, excellent in the Dragon type category, as well as in the Ground type category, and even Weavile, a really stunning shiny, but as an ice type attacker, potentially as a dark type attacker as well, a very glassy Pokemon. But these are some of the sickest things of the entire event. Go after these certain Mighty Pokemon. The third thing we need to remember is going to be all about the Go Pass. As of recording this video, the Into the Wild Go Pass will be live, and remember, we can only get a certain amount of points per day to progress on the track, and on the weekend there will be unlimited amount of points. And the main pull of this deluxe version is going to be the introduction of the Silver Bottle Cap, which, remember, unlike the Gold Bottle Cap where you can maximize all of your stats after a certain amount of hyper training, Silver Bottle Cap will only maximize one stat. So I would strongly recommend, if you are going to go for the Silver Bottle Cap, to really go for something that already has 2 stats maxed out with 1 stat left over. But is this going to be worth it for you? To be honest, I would say no. For $15, which is what the deluxe is going to cost, I'm not sure that what you would get outside of this event from Into the Wild area is going to be better. And is it really worth $15? I would say no. Number 4 all has to do with G-Max Grimmsnarl, how to take it down, is it even good in Pokemon Go, and a full breakdown of this Pokemon. Let's get into that breakdown very quickly. Its base stats are looking pretty good. It has a max CP of 3222, an attack of 227, a defense of 139, and a stamina of 216. So this Pokemon, decent attack, solid defense. Because of its fairy and dark typing, it's going to resist 4 different types, which is going to be Ghost, Dark, Dragon, and Psychic. The fast attacks it has access to is going to be Bite, Sucker Punch, as well as Low Kick, and the charged moves will be Dark Pulse, Play Rough, Foul Play, and Power Up Punch. But for G-Max Grimmsnarl, it is going to use a speciality Dark type move, which is going to be G-Max Snooze. In terms of the strategy or counter guide to take this Pokemon down, you really want to go in with a team of defenders and attackers. These are going to be your best tanks. In other words, the Pokemon that are going to soak up the most damage in this encounter. Undoubtedly, things like Crown Sword Zacian, Crown Shield Zamazenta, Blissey with Pound, G-Max Lapras with Water Gun, as well as something like G-Max Rillaboom are all going to be decent tanks for you. And on the attacking side, these are going to be the Pokemon you're going to want to switch into once that Dynamax phase goes live. And some of the best attackers there is going to be Crown Sword Zacian with Metal Claw and Behemoth Blade. Metagross is going to be in there with Bullet Punch. Excadrill will be in there with Metal Claw. And if you do have one of those Duraludons with Metal Claw, that could serve you well too. Once you defeat G-Max Grimmsnarl, you will get an encounter with Grimmsnarl. That 100% IV coming for the G-Max encounter is going to be 1628, because remember, there is no weather boost. And of course, it can be shiny, which is absolutely stunning with that white. I believe that the shiny right there should be around 1 in 20. Number 5 has to do with what Pokemon you should be focusing on targeting during this event. Let's kick off with that first Dark Hour with 4 Pokemon actually having a permanently boosted shiny rate, which is going to be Alolan Meowth, Alolan Grimer, Sneasel, as well as Nincada. All of these generally have a 1 in 64 shiny rate. More than that, we have 2 permanently boosted boosted Stardust Pokemon in here, which again, we've just mentioned. One is going to be a Alolan Meowth that is going to grant you 750 Stardust per catch, and the other one is going to be Fungus, which is also going to grant you 500 Stardust per catch, so look out for those Pokemon. In terms of meta-relevant Pokemon, first up is definitely going to be Ghastly going into Mega Gengar, which is currently the second best Ghost type attacker in the game, as well as the second best Poison type attacker in the game. Very, very valuable, and we've just had Halloween too, so you should have the candy. On the PvP side of things, Inkay going into Malamar, currently the Shadow as well as the regular form are currently breaking into the top 70 as of recording this video, but in the Ultra League it performs best as an IV set of 3, 15, 15. Shadow is ranked 14, and in its XL form, the Malamar is ranked 32. Don't sleep on Phantom going into Trevenant as well. This Pokemon on the Ultra League specifically right now is very good as of recording. It's currently 42nd in the Ultra League. In its XL regular form is currently ranked 72 at a 115-15 IVs. And last but not least, we're going to focus on Dreepy, which will definitely have its own community day in the future, but Dragapult is currently the 10th best Ghost type attacker in the game right now. Cannot be shiny, but a good one to go after. Undoubtedly, those are some of the best Pokemon to go after, but thing number 6 is how do I maximize the candy for a lot of these Pokemon? Guys, the wild area is predominantly a dark and fairy type event, which means you want to have dark type megas ready as well as fairy type megas ready, hopefully all at level 2 or maximum at level 3. The reason why is you get a 25% more XL candy chance, as well as additional candy, as well as XP. You almost want to swap megas every single time the rotating hour ends, so you can accumulate all that dark candy, for example, because you had your Mega Houndoom at level 3 out, and then when it flicked over to the fanciful fairy hour, you then got out something like a Mega Gardevoir, so you can really reap in all the candy and XL candy for all the fairy types. Last but not least, number 7, very overlooked thing in Pokemon Go is going to be what adventure effects should you use to really maximize this event. Undoubtedly, the first one is going to be Origin Palkia Spatial Rend. This is going to increase your radius of spawns on your map, which means you will be able to see mighty Pokemon more frequently. There could be that hundo just outside of your radius, and because of Spatial Rend, clicking on that mighty could be your Shundo, could be your very first Shundo in the game, because the odds here on this weekend are so high for that. Do not forget about Spatial Rend. The next 2 or 3 we're going to be looking at, especially if you're rating, is going to be Black Kyurem's Free Shock, which is going to increase the catch rate by 25%, but it's going to keep the Pokemon still, especially for their shadows. It could be very valuable. And even White Kyurem's Ice Burn is going to increase the catch rate by 50%, but it's going to slow down that ring. So you really get a great chance to try and hit that excellent throat just to make your life a lot easier. And we definitely think you should look at Crown Sword's Zacian's Behemoth Blade, because this is going to grant you 10% more damage in raids and 5% more damage in max battles. So in either of these categories, it's going to boost either the shadow raids or the damage you're going to use in those G-Max Grimmsnarl raids. Don't overlook at this. These adventure effects can really boost everything that's going on. And of course, do not forget to get into a party. Your party play is really going to help the damage in raids as well as max battles, but you can also complete certain tasks so you can work towards that platinum medal. Guys, that is the 7 things you really need to know in the wild area. We packed this video. We really tried to pack it with as much information to really help you and guide you through this weekend, and in our opinion, just to condense it and make it simple, this is the best way to do that. All right, guys, love you so much. Go with us, enjoy the wild area. Let us know what you do get. We really want to see them in the comments. We'll see you in the next one, baby. Go with us. Shh.